Hey, it's Kyle, and I thought it was time I give my opinion on Rogue One. I saw it opening weekend actually on that Sunday, so it's been about a week or so since I saw it, but I didn't want to post my review immediately. I wanted some time to kind of think about the movie. I didn't want to just do a rush judgment like my emotions right after the movie. I really wanted some time to reflect on it before I posted my official views on the movie and stuff like that. So now that I've had the time to do that, I thought it was a good time to share my opinion on Rogue One. So first off, let me say, really enjoyed it, loved it, thought it was a great movie. If I had to rank it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it maybe an 8.5, 8. Doing star ratings, maybe 1 to 5, maybe 4 stars, somewhere in there. If you're looking at how I rank it compared to other Star Wars movies, I would have to put it out of the, currently, so this is the 8th movie, I would put it in the number 5 slot. But I'll say spots 5 through 1 are all movies I think are great. Spots 6, 7, or 8 movies I do not like at all. So being in the 5th spot sounds like it's way down the list, but I really enjoy it a lot. But as you guessed from that rankings, all the movies in the original trilogy and The Force Awakens I preferred over Rogue One. So first I want to touch on what I liked about the movie, and then I'll touch on what I didn't like about the movie. First, some things I loved about the movie. I thought the acting was awesome, great. Usually with a new movie that's introducing a completely new cast, regardless of what franchise or be it a standalone movie, usually there's one or two actors, even in a great movie, I was like, I think they did a little miscasting there. At least for me, that did not happen in Rogue One. I thought all the actors were perfectly cast. I think they all did a great job. There wasn't any actors that took me out of the movie, their performances or anything like that. So acting, great job. Special effects, awesome, from the practical effects to CGI, all that type of stuff. Great job, as normal. Star Wars does an awesome job in that regard. The battle scenes, choreography was awesome. They did a great job, be it the space battles or the fighting on the land. Another great job. Action elements of this movie was awesome. In fact, I think on the land battle side, the closing land battle, the action there might be my favorite land battle in the Star Wars universe. I'd have to think about that a little bit more, but really enjoyed that a lot. Did an awesome job with that elements of it. The overall storyline of the movie I thought was excellent. Exploring this element of Star Wars history that all Star Wars fans have known about, the basic idea that the plans for the original Death Star were stolen, but actually going in there and laying out the storyline, touching on some elements that relate to A New Hope, but at the same time making it work as a standalone movie. I think they did an excellent job. Also, the way they concluded the movie, which I'm not going to get into in the ending, just in case you haven't seen it yet. I don't really do any plot spoilers. But any of those elements, the stuff that some people are wondering about, why weren't some elements of this movie apparent in A New Hope? Well, they kind of wrap that up neatly. And then also some elements of A New Hope that some people have complained about as being plot holes. Rogue One addressed those and kind of tied up in a neat little bow. So I think in some ways it helps make A New Hope even a better movie, which I think is awesome. I also agree with a lot of people saying that Rogue One is a type of prequel to A New Hope that everybody was hoping for when George Lucas did the original prequels. So I think this is definitely the type of movie that people were hoping for, from the technology just matching up better to what was presented in A New Hope, the storyline, the acting, all that type of stuff. This is what we were hoping for in the original prequel. And if we'd got this in the original prequels all those years back, who knows, maybe George Lucas might have never stole Star Wars. I think some of the reasons he sold Star Wars was probably frustration of how the original prequels were received. and his vision not necessarily being popular anymore. So I think Rogue One is definitely kind of the prequel that I think everybody was hoping for and that we finally got. Humor, lots of great elements of humor. I think all the best Star Wars movies really incorporate that, where they incorporate humor without being corny or stupid. Rogue One does an awesome job with that. So those are the elements I really enjoyed a lot about Rogue One. So let me delve into some elements that I did not enjoy as much. Like many people, I felt the first half of the movie was a little slow. Second half of the movie was awesome, did an amazing job. First part of the movie, I just felt the pacing was off. They jumped around on planets too much, where that made it feel slower. There was just a lot of setup that I think they could have done a little bit better. And in that time, instead of wasting on some of the elements they tried to set up the plot, I think they could have went into a little bit more of character development, which I think was lacking in some of their characters. So the first part of that movie, to me, kind of drug down the movie a little bit. If the first part of the movie had been as good as the second part, I definitely think I would have had to rank Rogue One higher in my all-time Star Wars rankings. I already mentioned another element of the movie I felt was lacking a little bit, and that was the character development. At the end of the movie, when all the action's happening, and a lot of people compare, I've heard this comparison by a couple other online reviewers, of comparing this movie to Saving Private Ryan, where you have like this squad of soldiers, and as they go through, even though you have a large number of characters, in Saving Private Ryan, you really become attached to all those. So when something happens to one of those characters, even a minor part of the group, you feel the emotional impact. I don't think Rogue One did a very good job of this. The minor characters that are part of the final assault, a lot of them you don't even know their names. So when something happens to them, you kind of feel like, oh, I should be rooting for these. They're rebels. I should be rooting for them. But I don't really feel any sadness that this character just, was basically killed in action. They did a slightly better job on the bigger characters. One example I'll say they did a better job was the Imperial Pilot defector. You really did kind of develop a little bit of emotional attachment to him, although with him I think he could even have done a little bit more and explained a little bit of his background with the Empire and why he decided to defect, instead of basically explaining it in a very quick throwaway line that he just wanted to make up for past deeds. What were those past deeds? That type of stuff. And even in the two main characters, I felt like you just did not get as much really character development that was really required for you really to be fully invested in these characters. I mean, I definitely, was invested, but not all the way there. So just compare it to, like, again, Saving Private Ryan, when you look at Tom Hanks' character. By the end of that movie, you're fully invested in his character and Matt Damon's character. Rogue One, just not quite there. I think that's part of the struggles that the first part of the movie prevented that from happening. I think one mistake they made that could have helped this was actually having the traditional Star Wars crawl as a part of the movie. I know that was one of the early decisions they made on these standalone movies. I'm assuming that's still going to be the future. They weren't going to do the standard Star Wars crawl. The reason I think this could have helped some of the issues that the movie had is that the crawl could have helped address some of those plot setup points, so they would have had to show those scenes in the movies and instead devoted more time to developing these characters' backstory, so we have a more of an emotional attachment. So instead of having to jump around to 4 or 5 planets in like 4 or 5 minutes at the beginning of the movie, you could have taken care of some of that in the crawl and instead find out more about these characters and why should we care about them? Why should we be rooting for them more than just their overall mission? Why should I care about these specific characters? But even though, like I said, there's some elements in the movie I did not think was the best, by no means misinterpret this as me saying I do not like Rogue One. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. Those were just a couple parts of the movie that I felt like were lacking a little bit that prevented it from being an even better Star Wars movie. But overall, I was very thrilled with the movie. It makes me very excited for what they have in store for these standalone movies. Honestly, when Disney announced they were doing Star Wars movies, I was almost more excited by the idea of the standalone movies than the you know, the next trilogy, which The Force Awakens started, because I could see a lot of potential for the standalone movies and stuff they can explore in just one movie. So I'm very excited to see that this first one got off, in my opinion, to a great start, and I really look forward to the next standalone movie. So those are my opinions on Rogue One. Let me know what you think in the comments below, or did you love the movie? Did you hate it? Or do you just kind of so-so? Where would you rank this in amongst all the other Star Wars movies? Just let me know your opinions. Sorry, I know this was a little bit of a rambling review for the movie. Even after a week, you know, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. So again, sorry for rambling a little bit. As always, I hope you like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that sorts of good stuff. Hope you enjoyed this review, and may the Force be with you.